Exactly. So the morning after, South Korean military did conduct a live fire drill on the east coast part of the country, certainly in its reaction to this nuclear test conducted by North Korea over the weekend. And certainly the reaction coming out of the government, the president at least, is one of disappointment and frustration. Remember, he took the top job with this vision of improved inter-Korean relations, but certainly a big challenge for the president of South Korea. Here is South Korean President Moon Jae-in saying the nuclear test conducted over the weekend was a strategic mistake on the part of Pyongyang. Take a listen.
North Korea's repeated provocations, including ICBM launches and nuclear testing, heightens tensions not only on the Korean peninsula, but also greatly threatens world peace. North Korea committed an absurd strategic mistake that further isolates the country from the international community. In response to North Korea's provocation, our government, along with the international community, will devise powerful punitive measures against the North, and we will make North Korea have no option other than giving up its nuclear and missile programs.
Along with this comment that you just heard, South Korean president or the presidential office talked about how its officials are actively looking into this option of bringing in that extra layer of defense from the United States, certainly because of North Korea's continued threat or missile test as well as a nuclear test. And also the leader of South Korea had a phone call with his Japanese counterpart talking about the need to come up with the strongest measure in order to further pressure North Korea until North Korea agrees to dialogue. But I think when we talk about this UN Security Council framework, maybe things are a little too late, given that these sanctions started back in 2006 in the wake of the very first nuclear test by North Korea, and 11 years later, now in 2017, this is where we are, with North Korea claiming a perfect success with its hydrogen bomb. Guys?
Sherry, the unthinkable in this situation, I think, was always the First Strike initiative launched by the United States and South Korea to try to disable or knock out North Korea's ability to respond or launch any short-range nuclear tactical weapon. Have you seen anything in the commentary from the South Korean government at this point that suggests that that idea of a strategic first strike may be back on the table?
At this point, we do not have that yet, at least coming from the South Korean government. As far as we have, well, since North Korea's nuclear test yesterday, what we've got is that the United States and South Korea will consider some kind of military option in order to counter and send a signal, but not exactly to the point where we are talking about the surgical military strike on some of these spots in North Korea. Do note that the South Korean president is a leader who is all about engaging with North Korea through dialogue. And actually, that's the very point that brought on this morning tweet from U.S. President Donald Trump overnight Asia time, talking about how South Korea's, quote, appeasement will not work with North Korea. So certainly we're seeing some kind of a crack that's becoming more visible between Seoul and Washington.